big home game this weekend, Sunday afternoon. We got the Vikings coming to town for a little action, as we got a little divisional action against the Vikings, the team that Detroit has made their bitch ever since Dan Campbell came into the league. And yeah, it's pretty clear. Like honestly, for the Hate Week video, when I said Vikings were football's Groundhog Day, it actually fit perfectly. Because every single time the Lions and Vikings play in the Dan Campbell era, it's always the same damn result, just another day and week. Same shit, different pile. And different day and different week and different toilet. But anyway, let's take a look at this matchup and see how the Lions fare against the Vikings this Sunday. So, of course, the point spread line, it has Detroit entering this game as heavy 8.5 point favorites. So, they're 9 point favorites. So, Detroit's favored by 2 possessions in this game. So, Lions are expected to win this game by Vegas' odds. Minnesota, they lead the all-time series over Detroit 80-45-2. However, Detroit has won the last 5 meetings against the Vikings, including both games last year against the Vikings. Actually, they've swept the Vikings the last 2 years in a row. And also, I should mention, this is the first time the Lions and Vikings have crossed paths ever since Week 18 last year, that Week 18 winner-take-all regular season finale for the NFC North and the 1 seed last year. And by the way, Minnesota, last year, I wasn't kidding when I said last year was your last shot at this belt. You don't get another shot at this belt anymore. You go to the back of the line where you belong. Even right behind Toilet. Anyway, continuing on though. Minnesota, they're 2-2 on the road this year. Detroit is undefeated at home this year at 3-0. So let's go over the key players on the Vikings offense. So on offense, their new quarterback, even though it's his first real season as a starter since last year, he missed all last year with an ACL tear. We have QB J.J. McCarthy, who enters this game questionable since he's been nursing an ankle injury the last few weeks since week 2. When he got injured against the Falcons. And a lot of reports are saying that he's expected to play this Sunday, so McCarthy will begin to start. Especially since Carson Wentz will be heading to season-ending IR after he suffered a shoulder injury and a bunch of other stuff, and he's actually been playing through it while waiting for JJ to fully recover from his ankle injury. The Vikings, they have the running back duo of Ron Jones and Jordan Mason. And the receiving core full of players like Justin Jefferson, who is not the top wide receiver in the league and not the top wide receiver to come out of LSU in the last 5 years. That honor belongs to Jamar Chase. Yeah, in fact, hey folks, you want to know how you trigger Viking fans within 5 seconds? I'll show you how. Justin Jefferson is not better than Jamar Chase. That was about 4 or 5 seconds. Yeah, just say Jamar Chase is better than Justin Jefferson and that will trigger him. Or just say Jerry Rice is still better than Randy Moss. That will really light a fuse in their tampons. Anyway, continuing on, Jefferson, there's also Jordan Addison. You also got Tay Felton and Jalen Naylor as well. And of course, tight end TJ Hawkinson. And of course, for the Vikings on defense, well, continuing on, the D-line is anchored by the likes of Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave, and Tyron Ingram Darkins. Jonathan Allen, yeah. And also, edge rusher Andrew Van Ginkel, he is questionable for this game with a neck injury. So, his status is up in here. That would be a big blow to the Vikings, the pass rush if Van Ginkel is out. They do got other names in there like Jonathan Greenard and Blake Cashman along with Ivan Pace as well. The secondary, well, they have Byron Murphy and Harrison Smith to anchor it. They also got names like D.L. Jackson, Josh Metellus, and Isaiah Rodgers in there. And also former Lions bust Jeff Okudah is questionable for this game as he's under concussion protocol right now. Oh yeah, Okudah's no longer on the Texans anymore. I'm honestly surprised he got cut from Houston that quickly. That was like, what, 1 year? Jesus. Yep, Houston realized the same mistake that Detroit realized. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that a lot of the Lions' injuries is on the athletic and training staff. Well, I think Jeff Okudah begs to differ there. because Okuda was never healthy in Detroit. He could never stay healthy in Atlanta. He could never stay healthy in Houston. And now he can't stay healthy in Minnesota. Maybe Okuda will teach the Vikings not to take the Lions' former draft bust. Like, seriously, what the fuck were the Vikings thinking taking Okuda? All I say is, hey, Viking fans, we Lions fans trying to warn you about taking Okuda. We told you he was injury prone and he can't stay healthy if his life depended on it. Like, Okuda's an example of it doesn't matter how talented you are in this league. If you can't stay healthy, you will not last long. Especially since, what is this now? Okuda's like, what, third team in like 3 years? Yeah. Usually getting cut after 1 year. Anyway, continuing on though, the Vikings head coach of the squad is, of course, Kevin O'Connell. Offensive coordinator Wes Phillips and the defensive coordinator Brian Flores. So, of course, the Vikings offense is currently ranked 25th. They're 20th in the pass game and 26th in the run game. Of course, part of that, though, you got to wonder how much of that was Carson Wentz struggling a bit there. And, you know, I'll be honest, I think the Vikings offense is better under J.J. McCarthy than Carson Wentz. But with how bad Carson is, that's not really a high bar to clear. The Vikings defense, though, is ranked 14th. They're a top 10 unit against the pass, 9th. But their big Achilles heel is the run game, as they're ranked 24th against the run. So obviously the big key to winning this game is establishing the run. You know, feed Jahmyr Gibbs that ball and just let him just run just run all over the Vikings defense. Which is what the Lions have done pretty well the last couple years, ever since Gibbs came into the league. And since it looks like Gibbs has become an RB1 now, and David Montgomery slowly getting phased out, they're going to feed Gibbs that ball. Just establish that run. And then defensively, you know, have Amik Robinson try and shut down Justin Jefferson once again like he did in Week 18 with that masterclass. And also get some pressure to J.J. McCarthy, because we all know you get pressure to J.J., he folds like a graham cracker. And let's be honest, I think the Vikings right now are regretting letting go of Sam Darnold. Considering Sam Darnold's been balling out in Seattle so far, so it seems like Darnold's season with the Vikings last year was not a one-year fluke flash in the pan that some of us Lions fans thought it was. Well, not the first time I've been wrong. Sure as hell won't be the last. Because let's be honest, we all know that J.J. McCarthy, he's going to be a bust in Minnesota. He's already trending that way since he's had issues staying healthy so far within a year and a half. Because he missed his rookie year last year with injury, and he missed some time already this year with an ankle injury. And we Lions fans know damn well when we say McCarthy's going to be bust, considering that a majority of this Lions fan base are Michigan fans. Well, at least a portion of us that are closer to Ann Arbor, not the ones closer to Lansing that root for Michigan State. Yeah. Or maybe, God forbid, they're from like Ohio or something and root for Ohio State. Ugh. A Lions fan root for Ohio State sounds pretty fucked up. Not gonna lie there. But anyway, yeah, get pressure to JJ. And yeah, just do what we've done the last 5 times we've played these purple bums. And get the win. Like, of course, you know, get a big game for the Lions. Gotta get this win here. You know, coming off the bye last week. And hey, when you're favored by like nearly double digits, 9 points, winning's the only expectation here. Like, you have to win when you're that favored by that many points. Like, there's no other option. And I think for the 6th time in a row, the Lions will win this game. Like, honestly, there's nothing on the Vikings that really scare me. We know how to shut Jefferson down. And I think the Lions, even though we've seen the Lions before be a little bit rusty coming off a bye week, well, except last year when they hammered the shit out of Dallas, I think the Lions will come out swinging and wanting to make a statement off that bye, coming off the bye. And the Lions will be getting healthier throughout the coming weeks because Malcolm Rodriguez will be fresh and ready to go. Also, we get Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch back this week in the secondary. And Branch is going to be playing like a man on a mission after coming off that suspension. So yeah, Branch is definitely going to be looking to make a statement Sunday. But yeah, anyway, I don't really fear the Vikings. I think the Vikings will make it close, because the Vikings always do outside of Week 18 last year, obviously. You know, Lions just got to do their job, do what they've done the last 5 times we played these bozos, and go get this win. I have the Lions winning 22-19. I'm not taking that 9-point spread. I'm not comfortable with that. I think the Lions will win. I think Minnesota will put up a fight because JJ's a whole different animal. But Lions will be too much for the Vikings to handle, and I think the Lions will get their 6th straight win over the Vikings. So yeah, after this Sunday, Detroit will win the last 6 meetings against Minnesota. Because, let's be honest, in the Dan Campbell era, the Vikings are nothing but the Lions' bitch. Yeah, I think Viking fans never thought they'd ever hear me say that sentence again, but hey, if the shoe fits, I guess. And plus, let's be honest, we all know how salty Viking fans get and how mad and upset they get every time they lose to the Lions, which has happened quite a bit. Especially considering in the Dan Campbell era, a lot of the Lions' recent success has come at Minnesota's expense. You know, first win in the Dan Campbell era, first division title, first 1 seed win. All of those things came against Minnesota. Like, the only thing that didn't come against Minnesota was the Lions' first playoff win in 32 years. That was the Rams, though. I mean, hey, if this trend continues, then this means that in order for the Lions to advance to their first Super Bowl in franchise history, they have to beat the Vikings in the NFC Championship game. That's the only way now, based on the Lions' recent success being at Minnesota's expense. I mean, that would be the perfect way for the Lions to go to their first Super Bowl in franchise history. Beating the Vikings in the NFC Championship game. If Minnesota even makes it that far. Yeah, especially considering, and also I should mention, that's the Lions' 5 straight wins against the Vikings. Those have been the 5 times the Lions have played the Vikings ever since the TJ Hawkinson trade. Yeah, ever since that Hawkinson trade back in 2022, the Lions have never lost to the Vikings since then. And I don't see that changing anytime soon Sunday. So anyway, let's go get this win. Let's beat these Skull Purple Candy bitches. And let's continue rolling on the wave of momentum the Lions have. And let's get back on track and try and take the NFC North back from Green Bay. Since now the Lions are half a game behind the Packers for that top spot in the NFC North. So the Lions can once again roost at their head of the table. Anyway, let's go get this one. We'll get this win Sunday against the Vikings. Let's go get it done. As always, go Lions and fuck the Vikings. I'm out.